Just to start, I wanted to show you a map of the watershed and our member communities. So we have almost our whole watershed represented by member communities, and this allows us to do a little bit more work in the area, more events. We're able to figure out projects in these places and talk with more of the community members because of their membership. Part of some collaborative groups, so Northeast Ohio's Public Involvement Public Education Group, the Cuyahoga River AOC, Central Lake Erie Basin Collaborative, Lake Erie Allegheny Partnership, Crooked River Cooperative Weed Management Area. These groups allow us to have some other resources and leverage some other grant dollars to complete our work. Some of the events that we've been able to do with our groups are listed here. There's so many of them, this is just some, but we're able to partner with Cleveland Metro Parks, West Creek, the municipalities, the soil and water conservation districts, all kinds of folks in order to do more work than we otherwise would be able to just on our own. So we're really grateful to our partners this year. So one of the brand new programs and events that we did this year was a webinar series. We wanted something to hold us over from May, when the Ohio Stormwater Conference should have been, to when it happened in August. So we had a whole series of webinars throughout these summer months that centered around stormwater, BMPs, municipal engagement. And that all led up to the conference in August. This was a great and successful conference. We held it entirely virtually this year, and we learned so much doing that. We learned how to host a virtual conference, but also we figured out some hybrid approaches too, so we'll be really well prepared for this next May. Some of the events we got to do this year, we're used to doing a lot of stream cleanups and tree plantings and teaching folks about the environment, but that looked a little different this year. We were able to do some stream cleanups with Cuyahoga Soil and Water in the summer, and we also just encourage folks to get out there on their own. Send us pictures. You can do this in your own neighborhood. You don't need just us to do it with you. We were also able to host some of our usual fundraisers and events. Drinkers for Tinkers is always such a great time at Hop Tree. And the golf outing in June was that bit of the summer where we all felt a little safer doing things outside. So we're able still to host some of these events, socially distanced, COVID aware, and we're looking forward to hosting them next year too. Another set of events that I don't think we would have done otherwise besides for COVID was these virtual hikes. We found that we could reach so many people through Facebook Live. And we'll be bringing this into the new year too, because this just makes this material so much more accessible to folks who maybe can't get out or don't have time to come with us. We hosted our usual rain barrel events too. This is a great way for the public to learn about the credit they can get for their stormwater. And we hosted these as just pickup events this year. We had a good system for a drive-up event, and we'll definitely be hosting more of these next year, this version or the We continue to do a lot of data collection on the creek. Field work in this volunteer program was one of the few things that didn't seem to need too much adapting to COVID. So we collected quite a bit of data on the creek. We had a student from CSU help us compile a report and crunch the data. She'll also be studying the macroinvertebrates here in addition to the water chemistry. We expanded our work quite a bit into Aurora Lake this year. So this is one of the areas we've been able to leverage our existing grant dollars and help a community that has a need. There's a lot of different partners and stakeholders around this sub-watershed. There's 3 municipalities, 2 HOAs, an overarching board between them, and a lot of data, which is really lucky. We've had a lot of meetings with these partners and stakeholders, and we were able to host some public meetings too through Zoom to make some recommendations, get some feedback from the community, and start planning out some projects that can help alleviate some of their stormwater flooding issues and sediment nutrient reduction goals as well. The other things we'll be doing next year for Aurora Lake is a tree giveaway. So this is last year around Aurora Lake. We were able to do some tree planting with the Boy Scout troop, but through our collaborative groups, we're actually going to be able to do a pretty big tree giveaway next year. It's for Portage County, but I'd like to use it specifically for Aurora Lake's watershed, just because they're going to be needing some more with flooding. Another way to help flooding, we did this stream restoration project this year. We've been working on it for a little while now, but it was completed this year in Bedford Heights around the bus garage. So that protected and restored over 500 linear feet of this stream, and restored some wetland, created some floodplain bench in a pretty pinched area. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Here's just a list of some of the other grants that we were able to receive this year. Of course, we've got the Sewer District Service Agreement, that 319 grant I just mentioned, our AmeriCorps operational grant for our NowCorps program, and some other education and outreach grants as well. We've been able to really combine a lot of dollars for some. Serve Ohio and the Corporation for National and Civic Service is who funds our NowCorps program. These service members served nearly 19,000 hours this past service year, and we just started a new set of them this past October. They just went through orientation, and they're now serving as environmental stewards all over northern Ohio. So we have a pretty diverse set of grants and fundraising, programming, memberships, and all told it's over $1 million that we're able to cobble up together in order to get some really great stream restoration on the ground and a lot of great stewardship and education happening in the watershed, really. So our plans for next year, this is really building on some of the lessons we learned this past year and doing just that much more. So we'll have our usual events and such. We're really excited to grow that NowCorps program. I think we're going to keep doing webinars and virtual options, keep those things for next year. And of course, conference as well in May. So I do have my contact information up here if you'd like to get a hold of me, and we can I can answer any questions you might have about the things I talked about today. But just wanted to say thank you again to the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District for the service agreement that we get each year. It really does complete our mission and help us along in our work. So thank you so much.